her memoir. In the interview, she speaks about things that she's never really spoken about on a public platform, but this isn't the first time that she's going to be speaking about this because she thought it was super important to write in her book first in her own words rather than just telling her story for the first time on something like an Instagram post or a podcast, which I think was very smart because I've always said with beautiful, successful, and talented women, people need to have empathy for their success because they would rather tear them down for what they have rather than listen to how they got there or why they are the way that they are. Topics discussed in the interview include the videos that went viral of her when she was 14 and 15 years old that were private videos of her intimately, her you-know-what attempts, her diagnosis with BPD, and her relationship with hate towards her for the past 12 years, where it's coming from, why, and how that has affected her. Some of the things that Madison spoke about in her memoir in this interview will probably shock the public and her fans. However, how the internet has treated Madison within the past 12 years, it doesn't shock me that she hasn't spoken or really given her own story in her own words to the public because of how they have taken and mistreated her in the past. And as a society, we're so willing to be like, oh, well, she's using that as an excuse. Or like, oh, well, she deserves the hate because she's in the public eye. Like, what did she expect? And something that I love that she said in the interview is people always say that, like, well, you're in the public eye, like, this is kind of what you deserve. And she said, but even though I'm in this position, does that still mean that I just deserve abuse? Overall, I think it was so well done. I'm very much a fan of Madison, and I'm extremely excited to finish her memoir, and I want to know your guys' opinions on this interview and the memoir.